So, Warzone and Black Ops Cold War got a few updates already for Season 3, but there's something big looming on the horizon. From the very first teasers that we saw back with the roadmap for Season 3, up until a few things that were debuted the last couple of days, it seems like the 1980s are going to keep presenting themselves to us more and more as time progresses here throughout Season 3. Today we're going to break down everything that we know of about what could be the next ambitious crossover for Call of Duty, and it could be coming as soon as a couple of weeks from now. So, that said, as we go along, there are thoughts down below. What are you hoping to see here out of this mid-season event, this crossover event? Is there anything in particular you're really hoping will come to Warzone or Black Ops Cold War? As well, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Warzone and anything COD related. We're on that road to 500,000 subscribers, and we'll keep it up to date with absolutely anything you need to know. So if you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. And finally, my good friends over at G Fuel still have code Espresso bumped up to 30% off, so if you guys want to get a restock or try out G Fuel for the first time, now's as good a time as any to net yourself an extra discount. That said, let's talk about this potential crossover event. So where does this all begin? Well, truly we had no idea what this would entail, but we knew that we'd have something coming as early as the launch of Season 3, or actually slightly before that, leading up to the launch of it. For this, we ended up getting our seasonal roadmap, as we do with every single season and as we have for a while now. But while we had a lot to digest up front, like new MP maps, new modes, a new streak, new weapons, and even a large alteration to Warzone, one thing tucked away was in the bottom right of that roadmap. One of the smallest blocks allocated for new content coming to the game was a box listed new limited time modes, rewards, and more, with a larger subtext here of that main piece of the image or block being mid-season event. And that was kind of it. That was all we had up front, and I think that rightfully so. Everyone was kind of like, okay, that's cool, but this nuke event though, because that's when we hadn't seen the completion of that yet, and it was a more pressing matter at hand. The future of Warzone was about to transition into what we now know as Verdansk 1984. We were all kind of like, cool, we have another event, that's awesome, but right now that's coming later, we'll put it in the back of our minds. And that's kind of where we sat for a couple of weeks now, up until a few days ago, on the 5th, I think it was, in which everything really started. On the 5th, we ended up seeing that a random Warzone account was tweeted out by Call of Duty's official Twitter, in which it followed a similar marketing pattern of what they've been doing, that Warzone report, which is just them publicly tweeting back at you if you ask for your stats in Warzone since launch. It's a cool automated or bot function, but this one wasn't in relation to any specific request. It was just kind of tweeted out. It was an individual tweet, and at first glance, there's only a few things that are kind of out of the ordinary, and you might miss it if you just scroll past, but at first, people thought this may have been a hacker being tweeted out. But for this account of Survivor John, it had a total of 552 kills, an infinite KD ratio, 0 deaths, 5 games played, 5 wins, and 7 hours of playtime. Now, if you start to examine that, that's a little weird, right? I mean, who has 0 deaths and that many kills outside of a hacker? Why is it also listed as an infinite KD? And why would each of these matches be over an hour long if there was only 5 matches played for a total of 7 hours? But again, maybe there's nothing to it, except there is. Puzzle sleuth and insider Eric Menard, who we've talked about here on the channel before, threw the Hail Mary of a pass, and as far as I'm concerned, that catch was good. He ended up postulating that 552 kills is equivalent to the number of total kills that Rambo has had. There's 5 games played listed, the number of total Rambo movies, and 7 hours is approximately the runtime of all 5 of those movies. Not to mention, Survivor John could easily be a reference to Rambo's full name, John James Rambo. So, Rambo crossover confirmed? Well, here's where it gets even deeper and even more connected. Not even 2 hours after tweeting that Survivor John card, Call of Duty handpicked a tweet to quote tweet from a whole week beforehand, in which it asked for the addition of action heroes from the 80s, now that Warzone is set in the 80s as well, to which Call of Duty simply quote tweeted the thinking emoji. But wait, there's more. Yesterday, Call of Duty Mobile tweeted to Survivor War with an image of the ground, ammunition shells, machete, a red scarf or bandana, as well as a belt of unused rounds of ammunition, and the official Call of Duty Twitter account simply replied with, "But what about a Warzone?" with the archery emoji, seemingly meaning that we'll see this across multiple titles, not just Warzone and perhaps Cold War. But what's even more interesting is that today we ended up getting another teaser for something coming, but this one wasn't referring to Rambo. Instead, it was a teaser pertaining to Die Hard, in which Call of Duty tweeted out Air ducts are a complicated network of danger. If yours are in need of repair, call the best in the business at Nakatomi Duct Cleaning. Learn more here. And it links you to nakatomiductcleaning.com, where it's really a fully functioning website to some regard. It's kind of static, but there's nothing really here except for some descriptors with a logo paying homage to the lighter, a date of operations since 1988 when Die Hard was released, and references to squeezing through the smallest of air ducts, crawling until you find the source of a problem, and of course, you can't forget the Christmas party, which, yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I will not be told otherwise. Also on the page, though, is a reference to Nakatomi Plaza and Yippee-Ki-Yay, obvious nods to Die Hard, and if it couldn't get any more obvious on this one, there also is one piece of interactable material on this website, that being the option to schedule an appointment by email, in which if you hover over the button or even click on it, you'll see that it's a mail-to script that will email john@nakatomiductcleaning.com, which is a clear reference to John McClane, the main character in Die Hard. So to me, we have two characters coming that are clear as day references to movie crossovers tweeted out by Call of Duty. Now, yet to be fully confirmed via official teaser, we may also have the Terminator coming as well, as insider Tom Henderson tweeted about this in the past few hours as well, compounding on top of all these teasers we've had so far. So how's this gonna work? It seems like a clear as day crossover of some kind is gonna happen now that we're in the 80s, and to celebrate, why not throw in some of the most well-known and beloved 80s characters? If I'm a betting man, which I'm not, but I'd say 100% this is the mid-season event, and it will work almost identically to that of previous events we've seen in COD. But the easiest parallel to draw to would be the Haunting of Verdansk event, since that was another crossover event directly correlating here with what we may see in the upcoming update for Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. I'd imagine that we end up getting skins for Rambo, John McClane, and maybe the Terminator if that holds up, that are part of shop bundles and then the thematic course of the event, but that are uniforms for existing operators likely, and that we currently have in Cold War. Just like how Mort had the Billy or Jigsaw skin, Velikan had the Leatherface skin, and Bale had the Dr. Karlov skin in the Modern Warfare Haunting of Verdansk event. Those were for existing operators already, not really introducing them as their own operators. I just can't see them really adding in characters as actual operators, as cool as that would be, simply due to how much Call of Duty likes their patterns of release, and we already have quite a few operators still coming within season. On top of that, though, I'd expect there to be some cool thematic blueprints and other items in these bundles, assuming they are bundles, which I might be jumping the gun too quick to say it is bundles, but again, given that we saw this happen with the previous crossover event, I'm kind of inclined to believe that will be the case again. But just like the Haunting of Verdansk event had its own mid-season event of challenges and exclusive rewards, I'm also expecting that here to be the same thing when it comes to this mid-season event, whatever it may be named, and will likely go on for about 2 weeks or so, though admittedly, I'd be cool if they make the entire second half of Season 3 a sort of event here with this and make it a little bit more encompassing a thematic tune here for it, but allowing players to play around with it a little further than just 2 weeks. You may not have a ton of time on your hands if it's only 2 weeks, as opposed to 3 or 4. So if you remember the Haunting of Verdansk event, you liked that event, you're probably going to be in luck here because I think it will follow very similar to what we have here coming up. As for timing, though, that's the big question mark. Right now, it still looks like, based off of how things work out for the timing of Season 3, we're probably going to see that midpoint being 2 weeks from now, or I guess a week and a half now at this point, for an update around the 19th or 20th here, depending on if they do overnight updates from Wednesday into Thursday, or if it's just on Thursday the 20th. But I'd expect that to be the midpoint here for the coming content and what we see within Warzone and Cold War, and maybe even COD Mobile as tweeted by them earlier. But awesome to see another crossover event again, especially celebrating the 80s theme here with this, now kind of fully immersing in it. And honestly, if you would have asked me a year ago if we'd see 2 major crossover events with multiple movie franchises, I would have called you a liar, because we hadn't seen such things since Call of Duty Ghosts, and with the licensing rights likely being astronomically high here with this, kind of crazy to think that we're finally seeing Call of Duty shell out on this kind of stuff again after so many years of not doing so, and even going so far as to change names of weapons to avoid that licensing fee likely. So I'm all for it here. I'm excited for what the future holds and what this event may entail. Right now, it's looking pretty cool, an 80s action movie theme, so I'm here for it. But before we wrap everything up, I want to take some time and thank those who've used code Espresso in the in-game item shop across Warzone and Cold War. So big thanks to Anonymous, Ty, Ghost, and Carlos for the love and supporting the channel a little further. It's of course entirely optional, but if you do decide to pick up something in the shop and decide to use code Espresso, feel free to tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your generous support like these legends here. But anyways, that's we're going to wrap things up here at this video. Just wanted to fill you guys in on what you may have missed here, these teasers leading up to the content coming in the future, and where we're at with it all. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to anything out of this event in particular? Who do you think will be the third operator here? Do you think it will be Terminator? Do you think it'll be somebody else? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Warzone, Cold War, and anything COD related. We'll keep you up to date with absolutely all of it. If you also want to follow me around Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get content on YouTube. Probably live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.